Hey, Rainbow here, and welcome to my channel. Today is a great day because I just had a really long weekend, had Friday off for Veterans Day, although Thursday was a more important day for me because that is the Marine Corps birthday on November 10th. Anyway, let's move forward. So, welcome everyone, and today we're going to talk about one thing that I think is really important, and that is, when is it time to upgrade a motorcycle? Now, this could be complicated. I'm going to simplify it, but it could be complicated. So let's talk about it right now. All right, so I have a KTM RC390, okay? I also have a Ducati Multistrada V4 Pikes Peak. 390 cc's, 1158, something like that, cc's. Big difference in bike, big difference in performance, big difference in everything. Now, should I even be riding this? Well, let's look back a little bit of my history. I started riding my first motorcycle when I was 8 years old. It was a Benelli 60cc. Many of you know that have been following me. And I'm now 57. It was 49 years ago when I first hopped on a motorcycle. So I'm comfortable on just about anything that I hop on. That doesn't mean that I'm a great rider or I'm really good. I still believe that you're only good when you're good and slow, because anyone can go fast in a straight line, right? So when should you upgrade your bike? When do you think that if you had your first bike, it's time to go from a 390 to a 660 or something like that, or a 690? When is it time to go up? When is it time to move up to a leader bike? The most simple answer that I can come up with for this is, when the bike is less capable than you, then it's time to move up. If the bike is more capable than your skill level, it's not time to move up. And I'm going to pretty hard and fast on that, but like everything, you can't just generalize something like that, okay? There are times when you are running a motorcycle that still has more, it has more to offer than your skill level, right? You haven't mastered the bike yet to that point, but maybe you're with a group where you're really comfortable on the bike that you're on, but they seem to pull away from you too fast. They kind of disappear. They're waiting for you all the time because you're riding a slower bike. If you're comfortable and confident, by all means, move up to the next one. But honestly, a lot of what I'm saying, I think, has a lot to do with the track, okay? When you're more capable than the bike, then it's time on a track to move up to the next class, or stay where you're at and just have a really damn good time, because you know what you can do with that bike. You know where the limits are. And really the same thing applies on the street. We're supposed to be riding more responsible on the street. It's more dangerous on the street. It's more difficult to ride on the street. It's often not as fun as it is on a track. So why wouldn't I stick with my generic thought? Well, it's for the reason that I said. You got to keep up with the people that you're with, but if they're riding beyond your limits, you shouldn't be riding with them. Now, if you have a small CC bike and you want to move up to something bigger because now you're comfortable enough that you want to take your spouse with you, you want to take your significant other on a ride, that's great. That's a good reason to bump up, because you need a little bit more power. If you're on the highway and you find yourself feeling uncomfortable because your bike doesn't have enough oomph to get around traffic or get out of the way, that would certainly be another reason to kind of bump it up. But overall, and I really believe this, is that in a generic sense, it's not time to move up until your capabilities and your skill level is equal to or greater than the motorcycle that you're riding. And I'm going to stick with that one. in generic terms. So I just think that it's a thought. It's something to kind of think about and maybe help put things into perspective. For example, this Ducati Multistrada V4 Pikes Peak, my skill level does not match this capability. And it's going to take a long time before I can get my skill level and get comfortable on this bike to the point where I'm pushing it to the limit. But that's going to be one location. It's going to have to be on a track. But who wants to take this bike on a track? This bike will be going to a track, just so you guys are aware. I also have an RC390, and that is just a blast, and it's a ton of fun because I'm more confident on the bike. It's frustrating because you get to a straight and you don't have the power that you need, and that makes it very frustrating. But once you get to those corners, you're absolutely having a complete barrel of fun. So there is some food for thought. Please, let's talk about this in the comments below. Let's have a little discussion about really what is the reason, how could you justify moving up to a bigger bike? Like, I really don't see, I don't like watching people getting their first bike as a leader bike, especially like a leader bike, sport bike. It's going to take so long to grow into that. And in the meantime, it's going to be extremely dangerous. It's a dangerous place to be. We should always start smaller and work our way up, right? We crawled before we walked, and we walked before we ran. And it's the same thing with bikes. So I'm being I'm generalizing with my overall statement of you have to be more capable than the bike before it's time to upgrade. But there are some workarounds in it. So anyway, let's talk about this. This is Remo. Thank you very much. Please like, please subscribe, and have yourself a great day. Food for thought. Bye-bye.